okay, so I think she's gonna be cool to me and fill it all in one or whatever. Like, all this shit is gonna be combined into one, like all the restraining orders, and then this next one of getting assaulted. But no, after I sign that one, she brings new charges and makes me serve 30 days for getting punched 9 times in the head and then kicked in the sternum and not throwing a single punch at this guy. And this is probably the most I'd ever been hurt in a fight. I've been in like 3 fights really, and I don't even include that one, so 2 fights. And I'm a wrestler. And it was over a guy hitting a girl, and I still feel bad for hitting this guy. He hit my friend who's a girl. She's very, very awesome, one of my best friends. I miss you, Steph. But this big old roid rager guy fucking weighs like, I don't know how much he weighed, but he looked like a gorilla. She said he could bench 600 pounds and he was on steroids, but I'm a wrestler, my dad's a farm boy, and one of the hardest workers, and instilled that in me. So I have a good strength. I might be 5'5", but I wailed on this guy. I left him in a bloody mess, and to this day, I hear that he still can't breathe out of his nose properly. And I apologize, Ray. I apologize. I would love to apologize to you in person. You shouldn't have hit my friend, my girlfriend, and not my friend who's a girl. But you don't hit women. Okay? You just walk away. Be the bigger man. Walk away. Although, yeah, whatever. So, and then another time was because this guy, he ripped us off. It was my buddy's money. They gave me some money to go get some weed. And it was supposed to be some good train wreck weed. And he gave me dirt swag. And I'm like, what do you guys want me to do here? I didn't even check the bag. I'm just naive and let's just smoke it or whatever. But I have drugs before, but I'm very naive. I don't worry about drugs. If you're going to do them, you got to fucking expect certain things. Maybe it'll be a little bit short because of a finder's fee. Or, usually it says advertised though. Like, train wreck should be train wreck. But it was some dirt swag. And, they gave me $30 of their money. And even though I'm not a drug dealer, I was just going to get my pot. I just like, well, hey, you're going to get it. You want to get us something? Okay, yeah, let's do it. And so they put their money in my hands, so I felt responsible to go get it back after they ripped us off. And this guy walks in there and he's like, well, you can either leave or you're going to go to the hospital. I'm just like, man, I'm like, really, dude? And so he goes out there. And I just wrestle him. I don't even throw a punch. I end up choking him out. Not choking him out, but I mean, I just like, that's what ended the fight because his girlfriend stepped in when I had his back and was choking him and he was done. And so, I mean, the 2 fights where I've actually, and I'm not bragging. No one wins a fight, dude. I don't want to, that didn't solve anything. I didn't get my money back. The guy was there and he's sitting on the ground just exhausted. And I'm like, where's my money? And he's like, I don't have it. And I'm like, okay, well, how much time you need to get it? Me, like, other people would steal his shoes or his clothes or make him go right now. I'm like, okay, I'll give you a week. So I end up going over there, and he's just giving me the jerk around. I never got that money, but I've talked to the guy eventually. What up, Jarhead? He's good shit. I like him. I have no ill will towards these people. Fuck that, dude. Life, for God's sake, dude. Brian, the guy who hit me, man, dude, I love you, Brian. I love you all, okay? I tried to get the charges dropped on him because he actually got charged with assault, too. And I told them to drop it, but he took the plea before I could step in fully, and maybe I could have committed myself more to going in there to stopping it, because I thought if I called them, they were going to drop it. But they didn't. So you need a proactive thing, like sometimes the state will just pick it up, even though you don't want charges. So I don't know so I get like a $270 check in the mail because of what happened. They heard that I got hit in the head 9 times and then kicked in the sternum. And I don't even want to brag, this is how much hate I have in my heart when it comes to that situation. I finally, he kicks me in the sternum, and that's what kicked me back up to my feet finally. I'm like, oh, got up to my feet then. And he's so exhausted from hitting me, he falls on his face too. And he could have slipped too, so I don't want to say he was exhausted, but he looked exhausted. And I could have just booted him right in the face. He was right on the ground, right in front of me, but my killer instinct was no. I said, okay, I'm going, I'm leaving. And he follows me in my vehicle and directs the police right to where I am. And they arrest me. And the lady of the house, my mother-in-law, she even called the state's attorney to get me out the very next day. But then she ended up, the other state's attorney, the mean one, who quit there now because apparently the other ones are too easy on inmates and prisoners. So she's gone. And God bless her soul too. She put me through a lot of fucking pain. But she just don't know. If you've never been to jail, you just don't know. And people say jail ain't like prison and prison is crazy. And man, I know people in this jail who say they cannot wait to get to prison. It's just, it's a whole different entity itself. It's evil, but I mean, God has a plan with it and it uses it right. Because it got me reading the Bible daily. And now I think I'm going to be a preacher. And among other gifts that he showed me, and they're writing poetry and stuff like that. But yeah, so I go to the hospital because they hear what happens. And they end up charging me $270 or $370. And he ended up, I just got a check in the mail from him saying that the case had been resolved for $370 to pay my hospital bill. And I'm just broke as shit because I'm running ragged. And this is how crazy God is. At the time of meeting this chick, I was about ready to make $12,000 a month minimum, doing metal buildings and siding and tinning and roofing, owning construction business with my dad. We were doing great, other than he was just turned into a grumpy ass. And we each, like I said, I'm anal. He's old school. He's good. He's very good. Very, very good. Very good. But I wanted to bring in the next new technology, the next new things, like looking at the cutting edge stuff, doing shit by the T, Certain people, he would do a header or something like that, and he would just do it instead of getting it inspected maybe. But he knows he's not going to get in trouble because he knows what he's doing. And it was always right. And even if an inspector did come, it was right. And it was. So, but it's just with certain things, it's hard to explain. He's very good. I ain't taking anything from my dad. Dad, I love you so much, man. He taught me so much. And he showed me how to love and be kind, which is why all of a sudden when meeting this chick, everything started to fall apart and just crazy shit. My mom yelling at me and mom and I, who doesn't get into it with their parents sometimes, but now this shit is totally antagonistic against me. They would do laundry on a certain day, Friday, is what they would say. But they would do it, sometimes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever they like to admit it, they, whatever. We're so at odds against each other, but we know the truth. And so every time before I would do laundry, if it would happen to be on that day, because I wouldn't do my shit for 2 weeks. I'd wear the same shirt for 3 days. I'd switch underwear every day, wear the same jeans for 7 days, because I'm working, work jeans and then have some whatever, so yet my water bill is high. Sometimes, dude, I got a weird prostate problem, so I'll piss in a bucket rather than flush the toilet 20 times, yet my water bill is the high one. Go figure. And I like I said, I felt guilty for taking a shower, but I would, maybe once every, at least 2 days, once you learn how to maintain, or once a day. Because eye drops, you have to have eye drops, you have to eat, you have to drink water. You gotta pray, you gotta read, to maintain and to keep certain relationships going. So I'm gonna go to this next video, but it has to do with getting that $370 check.